Right then, let's talk about the Prime Minister, because yesterday he released this clip on social media about digital ID.
So I'm in Brighton today. This is Barclays Bank, and I've been talking to customers about digital ID, and they're really enthusiastic. It'll have your basic information on it. For everything other than proving you've got a right to work, it won't be mandatory. You don't have to have it, but you can have it. You can use it for anything that requires identification, and there are lots of things. If you want to rent, for example, if you want to apply for a mortgage, if you want to get your child into primary school, there's a catchment area, and you've got to show where you live, proving who you are, what your date of birth is, will just be able to be done with digital ID. They're really up for it, and I think once you understand just how much easier it'll make life, so many more people will be too.
Yeah, I'm not really convinced by that video of those people. I mean, you get a phone call saying, right, you're going to be in a video with the Prime Minister. Great, wow, exciting. Okay, what's it about? It's about digital ID. He's going to be talking about how you're really enthusiastic about digital ID. If you're really enthusiastic about digital ID, I'd love to hear from you, because I'm not sure there are too many people who are that enthusiastic about it, to be honest. The government says it's not going to be applied retrospectively. UK workers will now only need it when they apply for a job after its proposed introduction in 2028. So, I mean, he's gone all over the place on this. He's talked in various ways, and we've had various government ministers saying it could be used and suggested it could be used for other things. Let's speak to Ross Clark. He's a columnist for The Sun. Ross, we're getting mixed messages about this.
Yes, we are. The government's sort of backtracking a bit, isn't it? I mean, it's poor Keir Starmer. This is a prime example of his reverse Midas touch. Before he announced his plan for digital ID in September, there was actually a majority of the public told pollsters they're in favour of digital ID. Since he made the announcement, that's crashed, and now there's a big majority against digital ID because, you know, now we have this sort of details. It's quite clear that they're not going to achieve what they want to from it. You know, we're told, well, we're only going to need it when we get a job and when we get a new job. And Keir Starmer might be looking for a new job sooner rather than later, I think. But that's the only thing that it now seems to be used for. But I mean, the problem with the you know, the black economy is that you know, it operates under the radar. You've got if you've got employers not asking recruits for their national insurance numbers at the moment, why are they suddenly going to start asking for people's digital ID?
Well, yeah, I mean, what difference is this going to make if people are employing people without asking for their national insurance number? And I mean, when I got this job, for example, I had to show my national insurance number, or I had to tell them my national insurance number, and I had to show my passport. I mean, in what way is this different? I don't understand why they're adding another layer of bureaucracy here. They say this simplifies things, but for example, some things that people might want digital ID, if it exists, a lot of people just don't want it, full stop, and that's absolutely fine, perfectly legitimate position, which I basically hold. However, the next question, I suppose, is if it is there and if it does exist, well, why can't we use it for things like the National Health Service? If you're saying, I am entitled to national health care, I've paid my taxes, here is my digital ID, scan, good, okay, off you go for your treatment. If digital ID is to exist and has to exist, and the government tells us it has to exist, well, maybe that's okay to access services to some degree. Some people might think that's a reasonable argument, some might not. But I mean, if you're not going to prevent people from not accessing services that they're not actually entitled to, then again, what's the point?
Well, exactly. It's going to cost a lot of money to set us up with a digital ID. And so if you are going to go to that expense, why wouldn't you want to introduce it for other things as well? But go back to that point of, you know, government saying it will make things more convenient and so on. At the same time, government's trying to claim that it will make sort of financial transactions more secure and this sort of thing. But those two things are in tension, because if it's making things easier for us as consumers, it's also going to make things easier for the
Oh, I think we've lost Ross there. We'll get him back soon, I'm sure. But as he was saying there, will make things easier for the criminals. Reg has been in touch. Says those people with Keir Starmer have to be actors. I've actually got Karen Starmer written down here. Some people call him Keith. Some people call him Keith Stalin. Various things. But Karen Starmer, I must say, is a new one on me. Damon has been in touch from Wigan and says, why on earth would anyone extend the one in, one out scheme? This is something else that the government is looking at. We're looking at the one in, one out scheme and saying that apparently Germany, Belgium and the Netherlands may well have a deal with us, because that is something that they're trying to sort out, because obviously it's been such an incredible success and they sent back, what is it, 50 people, 60 people, something like that. Damon in Wigan says, why on earth would anyone extend the one in, one out scheme? It doesn't work. All it will do is bring more people here. I'm ashamed of this government, and the sooner they're gone, the better. And Peter, do you think Britain has a brighter future? Damon, I hope Britain has a brighter future. I'm ever the optimist. I ever want things to be marvellous and wonderful and brilliant, and maybe they will be, and maybe things will get better. What I know over the course of my lifetime is that things have got worse, certainly. I think life has got tougher for people. I think next month when we have the Chancellor doing the budget, I think income tax is probably going to go up. I think she's going to contradict herself from a year previously. So I hope it does, Damon, but I don't think it will. Molly's been in touch as well and says, good afternoon, Peter. About digital ID, I'm 6 years old and I plan to stay in my job until I retire. I would like to know, if I refuse ID, would I get fined? Otherwise, I don't need it. I don't think you're going to need it at all, Molly. If you stay in the same job, you're 60 now. If you stay till the retirement age, whatever the retirement age is for your job, I think the national retirement age is 67. Well, you're going to be fine. You're not going to need digital ID. We're told by Starmer anyway today, which does seem to be a contradiction. Ross is back with us, and Ross, I think the point you were making there before, you're so cruelly taken off by the technological bugs. Maybe your digital ID didn't work, I don't know, when you were logging into Zoom. Is that the criminals can use this system or exploit the system anyway, Ross?
Well, exactly. I mean, what digital ID does is it sort of creates this one-stop shop for our identity. At the moment, if you want to open a bank account, you're asked to go down to a branch, present a passport, driving licence, a couple of other piece of evidence you live at an address. I mean, if we're just going to use one form of ID, then if criminals can get hold of your phone, then they've got hold of your ID. So I don't see the argument that it's going to make things secure. I think rather it's going to work in the other direction.
It's a really interesting point, and I do wonder how many people will resist it as well, and essentially whether that's possible. Are employers then going to say, well, I'm sorry, I can't take you on if you don't have a digital ID? Will there be any opt-out of it? Because there doesn't seem to be any manner in which that can happen after 2028 if you get a new job.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. So Prime Minister seems to think he can have it both ways. He's to go around assuring us, oh, it's not going to be compulsory. You won't need to do this. You won't need to do that. But then he says, oh, well, you will need it to get a job. So, I mean, the bizarre thing is it seems you're going to be able to claim benefits without a digital ID, but you won't be able to get a job without a digital ID. And it does seem to me there is a sort of possible problem there in trying to persuade people back into the workplace. You might actually persuade them down to the benefit office instead.
Well, I think that's a very good point, Ross. Thank you, and good to get you back on the line. That's Ross Clark there, columnist with The Sun.